tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Taking a little break from the house cleaning. I'm doing some. Got a rhythm to my house cleaning. I don't know how everybody else is, but try and keep it clean enough to where I just I can go through and get everything else. Sundays are usually good for cleaning, and of course Sunday's always my laundry day. But today we're gonna be in the big book. We're gonna be talking about well, it's hard to explain what we're gonna be talking about. Essentially, it's gonna be about you know priorities. Might be it. You know, this program's not easy, and when we do make some success, sometimes it's easy just to ride that success for a few days or even a few weeks. Yeah, we got to be careful about congratulating ourselves and things like that. Um, wow, sorry, just uh, so let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and head to the big book here. Welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. We're actually going to start with this. We are going to start with the 10 step promises and kind of go through those, right? Because it leads into the next part. It leads into the next part. So let's get started. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. For by this time, sanity will have returned. We will seldom be interested in liquor. Yet some things start to change. This is what we would call a recovered alcoholic. This is where recovered happens. And it's this part right here. For by this time, sanity will have returned. But all of this is a recovered alcoholic. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. We react sanely and normally, and we will find that this has happened automatically. We will see that our new attitude towards liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. Now, this part's a little later in the book, but I want to add something to this. Right? You get to a point where, in the beginning, you just kind of hate alcohol. It's kind of a requirement. It gets us through the first part, hating alcohol, and what it did to our lives and things like that. And it's okay to go through that, but eventually you will get to a point where you're just neutral about it. If other people want to drink, they can drink. Um, so nobody wants to hear from somebody who has a resentment towards alcohol. Good afternoon, Michelle. It's good to see you. Good to see you. You're the third person to show up, but you stayed. I think sometimes it's like an AA meeting. Nobody wants to be the only person here. They get a little weirded out. Well, they don't have people watching. I don't know what people are thinking. I really don't. Right. So we see our new attitude toward liquor been given us without any thought or effort. It just comes. That is the miracle of it. We're not fighting it. Neither are we avoiding temptation. We feel that we have been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. Hey, Daryl, good to see you. Oh, Mandy. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Actually, I would have known from your picture. I would have known from your picture, but good to see you. Your kids will be back soon. They'll be back soon. You're a wonderful mother. I do keep an eye on you. You're a wonderful mother, Mandy. By the way, I hope you've been doing well. Been a minute since I talked to you, so right. That's the miracle of it. We are not fighting it. Neither are we avoiding temptation. We feel though we have been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. That was a big deal to me. It was a long time till I felt safe. It was a long time, you know. Um, I put myself in some pretty precarious positions. I did, but it's God that tends to. I love you too, Mandy. You know, it's nice to know that God has my back because I'm doing the right thing. I mean, in its simplest form, that's kind of what it is. Because I'm doing His will, He tends to protect me from things. Sometimes it's other people, sometimes it's situations, sometimes it's me that He's protecting me from. Yeah, we have not even sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. This is our experience. What does that mean? That means it's fact. Not not one person's experience, but hundreds, thousands, millions of people who've had the same experience because they followed through with the steps. They took that. Rarely have we seen a person fail who's thoroughly followed our path seriously. Okay? That is how we react so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. I always have to say that slow. Otherwise, I'll say fit spiritual. See, I just did it because I tried to do it backwards in my mind and my dyslexia put it in reverse. That's where my dyslexia didn't work for me. Spit spiritual condition is sometimes what I say. All right. So before we get started, let's check out um, let's check out what laurels means. What is the definition of laurels?
Here's the definition of laurel.
Well, thank you.
Any of a number of shrubs and other plants with dark
That's
green
not what we're
glossy
going
leaves.
for. Bestow an award or praise on someone in recognition of achievement. Honor or praise awarded for achievement. All right, we're gonna go. Is the meaning of laurel is a dark tree. What does resting on your laurels mean?
Here's the definition of rest on one's laurels. Be so satisfied with what one has already achieved that one makes no further effort.
There we go. All right. Did we think it was sitting on our butt? It is, but it isn't. It's partly it. Be so satisfied with what one has already achieved that one makes no further effort. That's what laurels means. It means taking success today for yesterday's successes. Okay. This is kind of a controversial one. Okay, but I'm going to bring this up. The biggest laurels that I see is day counting. In the beginning, in your first year, I'm fine with it. Yeah, you kind of need it, but eventually you need to get to the point where time is not the success. It can be. It is part of it. Okay, but if I'm more focused, like everything AA, it gives you a day counter, which is not the best thing in the world. I'll even give you like I have 1,000 days. I understand that. My OCD kind of requires something like that too. But I don't count my days. I have no idea how many days that I have. I know I have over 9 years at this point. It's what I know. Okay. Not that I'm not proud of you having 100 days or 1,000 days or 10,000 days. Absolutely. But it's just not something we celebrate in the program. I love you, but I ain't clapping for your 452 days. So, why is that kind of important? Because we got to learn how to live in today. We have to have success each day. Okay. And if we're going, see, you already accomplished the 6 months. Let's move forward. I'll even let you celebrate it for a week, man. That's great. I don't mind. Okay. Actually, I don't mind even if you do, you know, if you do it. But you ain't gonna be sitting there. You ain't gonna see me clapping. I'm not gonna say anything. Right? Satisfaction. We cannot. It's okay to be satisfied, but that cannot lead to satisfaction. Can't get no. Where's Heather been? I have to reach out to her to make sure she's okay. Daryl says, we can't rest on our laurels. I don't own recovery. It's rented and payment is due every day. If you caught what I was talking about earlier, the grace of God, what we say that it was, okay? It's a free gift. The obsession of alcohol was lifted from you and you did nothing. What does that mean? It means that there is payment due. And that's partially what Daryl is talking about. I owe. I don't have to pay it. Okay. But then don't expect much in the way of having that obsession removed for much longer. All right. Yeah, Daryl says grace is an unearned gift. That is the literal definition of it. Means I didn't earn it yet. But God's belief in me, He gave it to me anyway because He believes in me. Because I can help when no one else can. He gives me that grace. He gives me that grace so I can help His children. And if I do not, then the grace is taken away. Now, that does not mean I'm going to relapse necessarily, but emotionally, I'm probably going to be a very angry person. Okay? Finishing the steps may feel like a satisfaction, but what it is a good start. We've got to find something that helps us thrive through the day, to push us through the day. Accountability is a big one for us, right? In the beginning, we didn't want to go to those meetings. Right? But I guarantee you there's several people from the grassroots meeting today going, I wish we met on Sundays because they want to see them. That's the difference. The difference between having to do this program to wanting to do it, because now you understand the gifts that come with us. And you know what that is? It's selfish. It's just a different kind of selfish. Some selfishness is good, like taking care of yourself first. Yay, Amber made it. Woohoo. She heard her phone. Woohoo. It's good to see you, Amber. So it is easy to let up on our spiritual program of action, rest on our laurels. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I don't think I need a meeting today. No, that's exactly when you need a meeting. Because if you're doing real good, then go to the meeting and share that experience so that other people can be reminded that it's okay to start your day over. It's a great reason to go to a meeting. So we gotta stop saying no and find out reasons, figure out reasons to say yes. Feeling like you've made it. And that doesn't mean that you don't get to plateau, that there aren't plateaus. Yes, there are. There are plateaus in the program. That just means when it's a part, but then it evens out for a little bit before we have to start climbing again. That's what a plateau is. It's a resting spot for you to sit down and camp, rest for the night, eat your meals, have a little bit of fellowship, and then in the morning we get started again. Right? Daryl says one of the miracles for me was when having going to meetings became wanting to go to meetings. Yeah, man, I miss those people. It's because we finally fucking belong somewhere. I'm sure a lot of people understand that I I never belonged anywhere. Even the freaks said I was too much. It was the drinking, not my freakiness. All right. So to come into AA, to see a bunch of people I would never have hung out with suddenly become my friends because we think alike. That's a big deal. This is the way I kind of describe it is loneliness. I'd talk to somebody about my loneliness and they wouldn't understand. They wouldn't, because if you haven't felt that way, it's really hard to describe. You feel very separated. And um, so finally belonging somewhere. Yeah. And I hear excuse after excuse after excuse for it. Okay. All of us have heard about people with a good chunk of sobriety that go back out, and I tell you, they will all say the same thing. I stopped going to meetings. I stopped talking to my sponsor. I thought things got really good. Maybe sometimes what kind of happens, and there's a balance in there because we didn't get sober so that we could spend all of our time in AA. That's not why we got sober. But a reminder each day is a good thing. There's balance in there. Some of us can go to several meetings a day. Not all of us can though. Maybe we got medical stuff to take care of, or maybe kids are involved. But even then, we still have a chance to make the world a better place, even while we're doing that. Maybe you're sitting on a park bench and you talk to somebody about God. There you go. You just had a meeting. It's always a chance to do something, right? But they'll always say the same things. Quit talking to my sponsor. Essentially, you left the fellowship. You went out and you tried to do it on your own again. I have not found any point in this program or in life where self-propulsion was the answer. Maybe to get motivated to start something. You ever dread doing something and then you do it and you're like, oh my God, that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Meetings tend to do that. You ever go to a meeting and nobody's talking, so they call on somebody and they're like, I'm just listening today. I don't really have much to say. Blah 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 blah. Thanks for calling on me. I feel better. Ta-da. All right. All right. Amber says I spent the entire day yesterday being service to others. Most weren't alcoholics. Yeah, I don't need to be. Mm-mm. We can help when no one else can. It doesn't say only alcoholics. Alcoholics are my priority, but if I can help somebody out with a few words of wisdom from my past, then yeah, I'm going to do it. Air says today I'm deep cleaning because my house, more because a fuck ton of family came to support Isaac yesterday. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I'm cleaning too. I already did my deep cleaning though. Now I just got to do the regular clean. So it is easy to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. And there's the key, the spiritual program of action. There might be some days you're just wore out on recovery. I get that way. It's happened to me. And you know what I do? I do it anyway. Okay? Because it's a feeling, and that feeling is not a fact. Fact of the matter is, I should probably go to a meeting. Even if it's half heartedly. Because by the time it's done, I'm like, I'm glad I did that. Mission accomplished. Good job. I've secured my sobriety for today. All right. We are headed for trouble if we do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. Subtle means you ain't gonna see what's happening. It's the same. It's subtle. It's like you remember growing up, and I do this a lot when I talk about encouraging newcomers. Right? You're the last feel. You're the last. And see, I saw the word feeling, so I almost put it in my sentence. I am the last person to notice any change in me, and I look at myself a lot when I'm doing it, but I don't notice the changes like you notice the changes in me. Okay. Well, that is subtle. So when they say alcohol is a subtle foe, it means you're not going to know. You're not going to know. So what do? We take out insurance. We take out insurance. How do we take out insurance? Go to a meeting, help another alcoholic, do something constructive. We are not cured of alcoholism. Yeah, we're not cured. Ever says yesterday I couldn't make any normal meetings. I know. And I did not give you shit for it. But I knew you had a bunch of shit going on yesterday, so I wasn't actually even expecting you at the 5 o'clock. But I got home 9ish, had to go back out and pick people up from the fairgrounds. But I got a text in Night Owls group chat that the parking lot was back open, meaning someone accidentally closed the Zoom room. I hopped on and had a great chat with 3 sober friends for 45 minutes. There you go. And that is exactly how God wanted it. Yep. It's cool stuff, man. She got to be of service all day long. And then what did God do? He gave her grace. He had a meeting planned for her the whole day. That is God's will. Thank you for Amber. That was neat to hear. So we are not cured of alcoholism. What we have is a daily reprieve. Let's look up the word reprieve. Let's look up the word reprieve. Definition of reprieve.
Here's the definition of reprieve: cancel or postpone the punishment of someone, especially someone condemned to death.
Especially someone condemned to death. See what happens when we look this stuff up? That's why we didn't need a plain English big book, because they're still not going to get it. They're not going to be able to do all that. Somebody's blasting my phone right now, Amber. So cancel or postpone the punishment of someone condemned to death. What is our alcoholism? Is it really a punishment though? No, it's not. It's not a punishment, right? But it is a reprieve from death. And we get it daily. Even non-alcoholics get a daily reprieve. What it means is I go to bed a recovered alcoholic and I wake up a hopeless, helpless drunk again. And I just do it over. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm okay with that. Seems to work pretty well for me, you know. So, but there's a word here. It's called contingent. That means it is dependent upon something. The contingency. Contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. The maintenance of our spiritual. No worries. It's not a big deal, Amber. You just know that, anytime I'm able to give you a hard time, I'm going to, because you're my friend. So what I get is a daily reprieve dependent upon the maintenance of my spiritual condition. Do I have a good attitude? But what is maintenance? 10, 11, and 12. That's the contingent, because we're on step 10 right here. It's the maintenance steps. First one is admit things when I do them wrong. Make sure that I'm in a brotherhood, that I'm one with my brothers and my sisters. Right? Step 10, admitting when I do things that I might be doing something wrong. 11 is prayer and meditation, getting closer to God. And 12 is service. That is the 3 prongs that we need to stay sober. Amber says, I also did tarot drawing for myself in my 11-step journal on morning prayers last night and this morning. Good stuff. So we get the daily reprieve. Every day is a day when we must carry the vision of God's will into all of our activities. Well, yesterday I did and I'm not, that sounds weird. I'm not mocking what Amber said because she has success today. Okay. But she was just telling her day yesterday. It's when we carry what we had yesterday into today. We can't do that. It's a new day. It's a new chance at demonstrating God's omnipotence. Yeah. How can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. These are thoughts which must go with us constantly. We can exercise our willpower along this line. All we wish is the proper use of the will. We're going to do one more paragraph and then we're going to wrap up here. Much has already been said about receiving strength, inspiration, and direction from Him who has all knowledge and power. If we have carefully followed His direction, there's one, okay? If we have carefully followed His direction, we have begun to sense a flow of His Spirit into us. To some extent, we have become God conscious. That means I can look around, I can look at the world and I can see that, and I can still see the beauty in it, even amongst all this chaos. There's a lot of chaos too. And Amber says the only reason I'm talking about yesterday is because I missed you on the last 2 days. Yes. Yeah, this is where we catch up 90%. No, you're right. I was actually going to send you a message last night telling you, I was going to say, this is not a guilt trip, but I kind of miss you because I did. But I'm not the top priority all the time. And I'm okay with that. People have to start learning that not being the top priority is okay. It's not a mean thing. It's just life. It's just life. Right? We have begun to develop this vital sixth sense, but we must go further, and that means more action. So just put some action into your program each day. It's all we really got to do. You know, we got to understand that, yeah, yesterday was great. What I do is when I pray in the morning, God, yesterday was a really good day. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. It's called double downing, and it works. All right. Well, that was a good little break from the cleaning for a little bit. Then I do some more and go to the 3 o'clock meeting, and I'm gonna wrap up my day. So it was good to see you all or hear from you. It was good hanging out with you for a minute. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.